In today's video, we're exploring Little Grassy Lake, located in southern Illinois, just southeast of Carbondale. I've grown up fishing this 10 horsepower and under lake, and it's known for some awesome fishing, kayaking, and its campgrounds. The lake's right around 1,000 acres and full of deep, clear water with plenty of vegetation. All that deep, clear water and vegetation were no longer to remain, though, after a December 5th, 2024 press release stated the formal Little Grassy Lake Dam modification study, which began on September 10th, 2024, continued a new dewatered management strategy, given the heightened risk and public safety concerns. Draining the lake during the dam remediation process will help to address concerns about the current condition of a compromised service spillway, should it be activated by extreme weather events. Reducing the water level proactively will lessen the likelihood for a dam failure until repairs can be designed and completed to the structure. According to representatives from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the dam and the spillway were constructed in 1942. The reason that they built the lake is because they needed a water supply for fire suppression for the munitions industry. Another press release from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service stated that the drawdown or the complete draining of the lake began in December of 2024 and was, in quotes, the result of massive flooding, erosion, and deterioration due to climate change, in quotes. The press release also states that the structure has aged beyond its engineered design life, and the dam is currently operating under an emergency action plan due to issues discovered in the spillway. If you look at the historical imagery on Google Earth, it appears that the water level was several feet below normal pool starting in October of 2023 or somewhere in that time frame. But you can see if you fast forward to April of 2025, the drawdown was definitely occurring more rapidly. And in this video, we're visiting the dried up lake here in early July of 2025, just to get out and explore and see what's been below the surface all the times that we've been out here fishing. All right, so here's where you used to be able to put in. What's it look like? Pretty good? Pretty dry?
Yeah.
There's a paddle.
Yeah. Supposed to pay.
It's all right, we pay our fees yearly. Looks like we got a lot of weeds down here though, so we're gonna try to find a good way down.
Look at the path.
We're gonna look for a path here. Kaylee already got stung by a bumblebee on the leg. She's never been stung by one before, so hopefully she doesn't seize up here and we have to medevac her out. Go ahead. Look at all the little shells.
Mm-hmm.
We just met a couple that walked down here. I guess the lady fell through the mud, so we've been warned to not get trapped in the suck mud, but we walked over here and it looks like somebody had made some homemade fishing sets here. This is our first find. It looks like what they do, drill rebar through the bucket. A little bit of, I'm gonna guess there's like Quikrete or something in there and a whole lot of beer cans. Olympia beer. You ever heard of that?
No.
Olympia beer. Body armor, that's not very old. That's probably somebody's trash from the other day. We got here old school Coors Light can. Keystone can. Doesn't look like Keystone's changed much. Pretty cool looking set though. Not a bad idea. And we got a bigger one over here. Looks like the same person made it, didn't they? A little bit of rebar in it. Looks like they got a log. I wonder what they used in there, quickcrete or something. And then you've got like an actual stump here. Looks like a pretty good spot though to put it. It's right off you got a drop off where the water used to sit, and then another drop, and then kind of the main creek comes in through here. Maybe there's looks like we got an old roadway embankment that goes through here. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to it or not, but I'm gonna let Kaylee lead. That way if she sinks, I can go get help. This is what the fish sit on. You can see out there it still looks fairly wet. We're not gonna be able to cross that. Look at the stumps off of that point. Look at the shrinkage cracks though, where it's dried up. It almost looks like brick. A real hard bottom here. I'm not sure what that is. Little cups or something. A lot of erosion looks like it's happened since it's been drained. All the little shells. You can feel those sometimes when you're dragging a fishing lure across them. Alright, so here's something pretty cool. You can see the old creek that comes down through this drain here on both sides, and then you can see the roadway embankment going along like that. And then they've got like an old box culvert. It looks like built out of some sort of railroad ties or something, some big blocking. But it's a pretty cool old ditch. I wonder how long it's been down there. I want to see if I can find some old pictures of it or something. But it looks like right in there it kind of washed out where the roadway used to go. But I don't think we're going to be able to cross this. If I had to guess, this is probably where these people got stuck. Kaylee's light enough, she can go.
That doesn't look too bad.
Except for where they sank. That's probably the wettest point though. We should backtrack over there. Because look where the water collects down in there. I bet if we go up here we might be able to get across. This grass is pretty tall. Look at that. Pretty steep drop. So if you look like here and then there and there's a bunch of weeds knocked down in like a perfect circle. I don't really know what that's from. You'd think it would be from water moving or something, but it looks like it's been pretty dry. I don't think we're gonna be able to make it anywhere from here. Might have to go around and try to see if we can come in from like the campground. Pick those up for us. Pick one of them up. I want to see that. Now that's an old can. Somebody had a good night right here. They dropped them all in the same spot. You think this is the same guy, like a couple years apart? So like he got this old Keystone can here, and then the one that's a little bit newer right here. I bet that's the same guy or girl. What's this? Some other type. You can see what I'm standing on here. We've had some people probably a couple weeks ago or a month ago. It's still not real firm here, but you've got these great big shrinkage cracks showing up, and I'm looking at this point across from me. It's amazing how steep it is. Like in a boat, I don't think I'd ever realized that. And you got all this standing timber here. Not real big stuff, but in the main creek channel. I'm gonna guess this stuff's pretty soft. Yeah, I'm good. Stay away from that. That grass, if Kaylee were to go down there and stand in it, I wouldn't even be able to see her head. There's a little rock formation right there. It's pretty cool. Wish I had my drone I could fly it around, but somebody crashed it. Oh well. Looks like it snowed over here. Alright, we got another find here. Floor mat for a truck. Anybody needs one, you know where to find one. Got the nice human trail started here. Go ahead, lead the way. I don't want any snakes getting me. We're gonna go try to find another spot that we can park and get in here. We can't get across any of these ditches yet. We might have to end up giving it another month or so and let it dry up. Pick it up. Look at that, the best find of the day.
Motor guide.
Right at the parking lot. Alright, put it back before we get arrested. Well, we tried to come down the other access point and they have it gated off for some reason. I'm not really sure. I think you would kind of want people to come out here and explore around a little bit. I mean, we pay fees to come out here and now you can't even go anywhere. You can't even park anywhere out here. But I mean, you get people out here looking around, why not give them a metal detector and let them clean up the lake? Guy running. Like a good spot. I feel like you could like park right there and backtrack and come off of the. We could probably do that and see some cool stuff. Is there anything that says you can't park there? Probably right there.
No vehicles.
Well. Alright, so we made it into our second spot. Not super positive if we can park there. There's no signs that didn't say no parking, but I don't know. I kind of get the feeling they don't want you there, so we're gonna bust it down. And our goal is to get down in here. There's a bridge that I'm wanting to check out. I told Kaylee I'm not gonna try to cross it, but it would be cool to get down here and be able to see it. And it looks like we can follow this high point all the way down there, so that'll be nice. Not having to worry about any of the suck mud. Looks like pretty easy walking from here. There's another ramp just around the corner, but they've got it blocked off to where you can't go to it, unfortunately. What is... So we're working our way down here. This is an old, looks like an old road. Goes down here to this bridge, and then here is some sort of old fence row or something. But I'm looking out here at this point and there's like a rock stacked on top of another rock. Let's go check it out. What in the world? Is that a tombstone? No. I'm confused at what that is. It says W. Jones 1950 something. I really don't know what that is. It looks like concrete of some sort. Somebody like, I don't know, we're gonna have to see when this lake was constructed. That's a pretty cool find though. I don't know what that is. It almost looks like it's a piece of steel or something, and it looks like it's like in a piece of concrete. W. Jones, if you're still alive, comment on this video. Tell us what this device is. Alright, let's go back over here. So you can see how deep this lake really is. If you look over here, Kaylee looks like she looks like an ant in comparison to the dam behind her. It's a pretty nice road at one time, it looked like. Probably 30 feet wide or so. What we got here? Smirnoff Ice can. No, that's Keystone. How many different cans has Keystone been through?
I thought it was Smirnoff Ice at first too.
Is this an old fence row, it looks like? Then look at this mound of dirt. Looks like the ditch cuts through here. It's pretty cool. What kind of bottle is that?
Small.
Huh. Look at these cracks. So cool. I've said that about a million times.
Oh.
We still got a little bit of water left here. I don't know if that's the drainage structure down in there that's actually helping to drain the lake. Some sort of intake. Walk out there in a second. Looks like almost looks like an old pond there. Wonder if there's any fish still alive. Oh, there's a big old dead fish.
Oh, there's some little ones.
Look at all these. That's a little bass, it looks like there. Or white bass. Interesting. Look at all the dead fish.
Gee, there's
Holy
tons
crap.
right here.
That's what
Everywhere.
that's what we've been walking on, is dead fish apparently. They look like there's a decent sized bass.
Oh, here's a big bass.
A big bass. There's a catfish. Oh yeah, that's a decent one there.
And that.
Looks like a big catfish. Crappie, bass.
Oh, look at that.
That's crazy.
It's all fish.
We need this for the garden. I guess this was like a little stream of water maybe, and it dried up on them. Yeah, there's a great big fish there. You can see there's not much left of it. But look at it left a huge circle. That's crazy. We were just walking on dead fish the whole time, didn't realize it. Kind of blind. I heard though a couple weeks ago from people that they were walking down here and you had to have like an N95 mask or something. It smelled so bad with the dead fish. There's a pretty good sized bass. I bet the raccoons and coyotes though and all that stuff, it's probably a madhouse down here at night.
I bet that has a bunch of fish on it.
In that pond.
No, that hill.
Look at this old bridge. That's pretty cool. I really wish I had my fishing pole now. Not that there's anything alive from what we just saw. Definitely getting softer. You see that? The big fish hitting up there? I don't think you can make it across. I'm already feeling a little soft down here. What is that out there in the middle of that, you think? I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a whole nother bridge, another wooden one. There's some geese down here on this point. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get over to it unless we can cross there's a little ditch in here. You can see all this grass growing. It's pretty wet here in front of us, so I'm not gonna dive off in there yet. I'd like to get up there, and you can see all that rock. At one time, it looked like probably a pretty cool bridge to drive across.
Oh, look.
Bunch more dead fish. What do you see? Keys.
Ton. Like 30
Whoa.
there.
Now, what did that come off of? SIU?
Someone lost a big key ring or something.
Yeah, or somebody's body got dumped here.
Huh.
How did I not see that? That is so cool.
Here's another one. SIU.
Did an SIU maintenance person? Is that what that is? Here, move over here so your shadows are off of. Keep this a little more. Look at all these keys Kaylee found over here. SIU duplication prohibited. SIU. Are they all SIU?
No.
I wonder if this is like a maintenance person at SIU. That kind of looks like another one. That's crazy. How many keys are there? Count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58.
40.
98. And then, is that a piece of one? 98. There's 98 keys.
No.
What would that be for? Somebody comment on here and tell us what that's for. I mean, a lot of these are SIU keys, which is...
This is like a house key.
If you're not familiar, the campus is probably 20-30 minutes from here or less in Carbondale. Did a janitor like fall overboard here, or did he just throw his keys out when he retired? That's pretty cool. Pretty cool find.
What are these?
98 keys. And then we got I don't know what that is.
It's like metal.
And then we've got a bunch of more dead fish right in here. I don't see anything like great big, but they would be probably... Oh, that's a big bass. Never mind. That was a pretty good sized bass there. You can tell how wide he is. I was going to say they've shrank up, I'm sure, like an insane amount. Like the skin, I'm sure, is nowhere near the size that it was at one time. There's another big bass. And another one. This must be where the big bass were hanging out at. A bunch of little ones here too.
Oh my gosh, look at this one.
Is it a bass or a catfish?
I don't think that's a bass.
Oh, I think it's a cat. I wonder. Another big bass and a flip-flop.
There's two.
Where? 2 big bass?
Yeah.
Yep, 2 pretty good ones. What do we got up here? Let's go up here. It drops off pretty good there. Piece of standing timber. So there were a lot of fish right there in that one spot. What is this, like an old campsite or something? Just a wooden post in the ground. There's a clay tile up there. It looks like we got some sort of yeah, look how big this catfish is. Big head on it. Got some sort of, looks like a makeshift old bridge. Still a little soft there. Yeah, here's another bridge. We're actually standing on this one. You see the wood on it, the planks. Look at all the silt that was on it. I guess it's washing out of this ditch over the years. There's actually still running water coming out of this, so it must be spring fed potentially, and it's making its way in right there. If we can cross this, hopefully. Look at that. I wonder how old that thing is. It's It looks like it's sitting on an old, like a log as an abutment that they used. And then, yeah, that's a log going across. It still looks like it has the bark on it. That's pretty crazy. And then there's the bridge that we were just standing on over in there, and then here's the other one. We might be able to make it that far. Shotgun shell.
Expert HV steel shot.
Nice. I'm not really sure what we're standing on here.
More fish.
Looks like a rock though too. Yep, more fish showing up. Some driftwood. I wonder how many of these fish have been carried off by birds. This would be like an eagle's paradise. We haven't seen any though. There's the geese out there. I'm gonna turn this off for a second, save some battery. Although it looks like we're coming up on something pretty cool here. Looks like an old railroad tie or something. I wonder what that was. You can see some like steel bolts or something right there off of it. We got a little bit of a wet spot trickling in here too. Footprint. What do you guys think that was? Like an old crossing or something maybe? Doesn't really look like there's a ditch there. Look at all these stumps. This would be a heck of a place to fish. Drag a crankbait or something off of that. I bet it's deeper than it can be though whenever the water's full. The lake's full. Alright, so we made it to the second bridge structure that we were looking at all the way from over there earlier. Surprisingly, we found enough of a high ground to make it over here. And what a view that is. That's crazy. You got a big rock shelf right up here around this spot, and then some sort of, looks like an old pier or something on a bridge, and just an old wooden bridge with wooden railing, and looks like it used to cross the main creek here. It's got a lot of silt washed in over the top of it and on top of it, but what a view that would have been back in the day driving over the top of that. I would love to see some old pictures actually if somebody had them. Pretty cool. You can see you could have stayed up in here in a cave at one point or another and got out of the rain. There's a better look at the bridge there. Looks like yeah, it's all wooden. You got water still flowing through it. It's actually flowing. It's flowing towards the dam there, but still water coming through. Pretty cool spot. It almost looks like some sort of old structure of some sort, but it looks like it has like screens or something on it, but I'm not really sure. If anybody knows what that was, let us know. Pretty cool bowl here. Looks like it washed out at one point. Huh. Look how steep the creek is here. What's this? A rope? Whoa. Don't get close to that. That's a cliff.
I know. I'm not going any further.
No, I was just shocked. That's pretty cool.
This lake was so deep.
Really good natural rock here. Kaylee found some fishing line apparently. Somebody got hung up here.
Bad.
I don't know what they were throwing. You don't see the lure? Look at that stump right on top of the rock. It's amazing. Wow. What a view. There's an eagle hanging out in the cool spot. I keep saying the word cool. And, Here's your picture right here. Looks like you're in the Grand Canyon. Stand right here on this rock. What is that, an anchor?
That's what I thought.
That's not a crevice, is it?
Yeah.
Woo! I don't like that. I was getting ready to walk off that. That's cool. I was pretty close to it. See that? Well, I got the stick out there. There's an anchor out there on that rock I was getting ready to grab, and I didn't really see this part. Let me take your picture. Ready? Oh, it's a video. Sorry. There's the cliff that Kaylee about let me walk off onto to look at that anchor. She could have got a good insurance policy out of it. I know what she's thinking. There's another campground way back in there, but they won't let you drive back there, unfortunately. It's just crazy to see how the actual main channel swings all the way through here. I wonder if there's any more bridges back in there. You know, I have to do that someday in the fall if it cools off a little bit. Let's go up here and check this slide out. Or old slide. Is this a boat? Then you got the campground. Looks like an old slide here at one point. A lot of sand here for the beach. I think we're gonna start backtracking here. We've had a pretty good little hike and got to see a lot of cool stuff. Maybe try to come back at some point in the fall when it's not 95 degrees. But if you guys enjoyed this type of video, shoot us a comment or something, or if you know any history that we don't about some of the stuff we saw today, I'd appreciate it if you drop that below, and be interesting to learn something about this place. I've fished it all my life. I just didn't really realize what's beneath the surface. So we'll have to come back out here maybe in the fall at some point. So wish us luck. Another boat?
Floorboard.
Hey, that's an old boat. Floorboard, isn't it?
Yep.
That's two boats, but it's gonna send us off unless we find something else on our way out. All right, we just found a new fishing pole for Kaylee.
so she can stop backlashing. Go ahead. Show everybody your new pole. Look at that. What are you throwing? Little red crankbait?
Nice.
What is this? Can you read that? The Rock. Zebco.
Co.
Little Johnny probably lost a 12.5 pounder. Kaylee just finished the rod tip off, breaking it in the ground. Look at him. He was all over big fish. That's a pretty big bass, actually.
That thing.
That's a huge cat. Yeah, little Johnny was right in the heart of the fish and lost his daggum pole.